So the unthinkable happened, and the biggest tragedy in the history of humankind, and mostly for Eren Mika fans, and that was the, let's say, pseudo confirmation, or in my opinion a pretty solid confirmation from John's voice actor, our beautiful horse, that actually the person we saw at the very end was John with Mikasa, and that John's feelings were reciprocated by Mikasa, and this has created a whole shitstorm that we're going to talk about, and it ties into the video I made about actually Mikasa being like abstinent from sex and stuff because she loves Eren so much, or probably she was like doing a stuff on his grave or something, or with the bird, that he decided to not do anything ever again, and it's not just about the marriage thing. I know it's a pretty conservative take that I do not even support, but anyway, about the marriage, only inside the marriage and shit. I do imagine most of you don't support that either, but anyway, it's your own personal opinion, but we can judge each other based on that. So here's the thing. In the whole anniversary thingy that we have for Attack on Titan, Attack Titan Shingen no Kyojin, we had a segment, let's say, that in which, and first of all, it was a 10th anniversary and they moved the date and stuff. I don't really understand why. And there was a discussion that John's voice actor made, there was a case that he made, and actually before jumping into that, for AOE bros watching this video probably, there wasn't anything AOE related in there, and there was not going to be anything AOE related in there because of the fact that, guys, if they wanted to do anything about AOE so fast, they would have done that in the episode and showed us something at the very least. They didn't do that, so give them a little bit of time, at least until spring comes and, we see the manga, what happens with the Levi spin-off, and after that, we have until 2026, and I am going to stream the entirety of Mavlov. Just give me some time. I'm in 3 weeks. I have defended my thesis. I'm going to be finished with that. Hopefully, I am confident in my own skills as a scholar. Let's say, and at the same time, I think 10 days after, or no, 9 days after, I do have a entrance exam for PhD. So yeah, I do. Rest assured that there is no more studying like that after that. I'm gonna be much freer and making more content about Attack on Titan 2. So here's the thing. John's voice actor did the unthinkable and said the following. He said that, I think John's feelings were fulfilled in the ending. What were his feelings? He actually liked Mikasa, and that was pretty fucking obvious, and we had lots of references to that and direct, not even hints, like it was in our faces and stuff. And that pretty much ties into the imagery we saw, that we had John at the very end with Mikasa at the tree at Eren's grave. And I mean, it was pretty much confirmed anyway, but I will discuss that a little later on. Then he says, however, there was a he, Eren, in the heart of the person he had feelings for, Mikasa, that would not disappear. I think John loved her with that whole him. It's a translation. You could say that translation could be a bit wrong or anything, but it is obvious what is happening here, because this has been kind of confirmed, and at the same time, do remember that the whole thing, if this ends up being a lie, I will just let you know or not publish the video. But this has been confirmed, pseudo confirmed by a few people, and there are heated discussions about that. You could consider the whole thing that, hey, John had feelings for Mikasa, we knew that. They were fulfilled, we knew that. He accepted her even though he knew he couldn't have her whole. He could have her whole, as we know, because many children were born from her. Or instead of thinking that it was like an orphanage thing, and I'm going to argue why that was probably the case. But he didn't have her like full love, let's say, because he knew that Eren was in her heart, and we know that, and it was obvious. And here's the thing, when Taniyama says that, if I'm not wrong, his name was Taniyama, John's voice actor, when he says that, Mikasa's voice actor decides to not comment anything on that and jump into discussions and into, let's say, statements and talk about things relating to Eren x Mikasa, and that's jarring to me. First of all, people are arguing, many of them, that this is the personal opinion of John. That could be the case, but when this is actually laid out, and at the same time the Mikasa voice actor, she is present and she decides to ignore the whole situation and jumps into talking about Eren Mika instead of shutting him down or say yeah but no or yes or anything, it does show us that probably what he is saying isn't completely wrong, that she is not debunking him. And at the same time ties into what how Isayama's mentality works. Isayama is scared of any kind of hating. Just look at the hating that this whole opinion of John's voice actor, for the case of thinking that it's his opinion, created, and people are having heated discussions all over Twitter and Reddit. I don't know about the other parts or other sides, but anyway, or other social media. I'm pretty sure in Telegram and other places people are probably discussing that. And here's the thing, if such a thing can create such a huge discussion, do imagine what Isayama would be subjected to from Eren fans. And Eren fans are not my intention to insult, but some of the Eren fans are just insane. The same goes with Eren fans, who I'm a Eren fan myself, but Jesus Christ, man, a huge fandom just does have a much more larger, let's say. So the fact that Mikasa's voice actor, on the other hand, decides to ignore the question, ignore the statements, and focus on Eren does show us that probably Isayama, Hajime Isayama, the mangaka, asked him that, hey, you guys don't do any confirmations on that, like, don't deny it, don't confirm it, I do not want hate. He does do ego surfing, and that has been confirmed by production, people in the production of Attack on Titan, and there have been cases of them being worried about him because he ego surfs too much. Like, fucking, if you are Isayama is he's an icon, and of course he gets a lot of hate, and I'm just gonna scale that down to myself, a very insignificant anime tuber on YouTube. I do not do ego surfing. People say shit about you, people hurt you, and over at the Farsi community, it's just fucking crazy. I never search my own name in Twitter or any place like that, because you get fucking destroyed mentally. Isayama does that, and it's pretty let's say normal for him to not want to be hated, or not to want to impede the generation of new hatred towards him, and that makes me much more inclined to believe that this whole situation points towards John being that person, and even have often other evidences. Look, the person that appears has the same outfit and let's say the hat and everything as John had in the anime. So why would they do that if they are not hinting towards that? I do believe that Isayama is scared of hate, and he has all the reason to, but that would have been better consulted with his psychologist to not ego surf or something, or just people stop him from doing that, because it's a pretty great guy. I don't think ego surfing is not good for anyone. If you watched Oshinoko about ego surfing, probably you know a lot about that too. And this whole thing ties into the situation of Mikasa being a virgin or not, that it's not our business, but I do believe that she needed emotional support, and John was that emotional support, and we have the evidences there. The imagery is there, everything is there. Just stop resisting that. It is what it is. Just don't accept what it is, and just look at what they are saying. The voice actors that have lived with the character for like 10 years, they probably know a lot more about the characters that we know. And the fact that Mikasa's voice actor didn't outright reject that and debunk that does show that there is at least some truth to that, or that's just like the plain truth, and she was doing damage control for Isayama. And as you can see, the whole hatred thing is around John right now, until we see what happens next on. Thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video. As been say in Farsi, before actually that, do leave your comments about this situation, and شبتون بخير، روزتون بخير. In Farsi, good night and good day. And it is obviously night here, but I do like saying that. So bye bye.